in the shadow of the ancient deserts of Midian, long before the 10 Commandments thundered from Sinai, before Pharaoh's army drowned in the sea, there lived a man who saw it all before anyone else. He was not a prophet, not a Hebrew, not even a follower of Yahweh, at first. But without him, Moses would have never become Moses. This is the forgotten story of Jethro the priest, the father-in-law, the wise counselor whose voice helped shape the destiny of Israel. The land of Midian. The story begins not in Egypt, not in the Red Sea, but in the lonely, wind-scarred wilderness of Midian. Here, among the jagged mountains and parched valleys, lived a tribe descended from Abraham through his wife Keturah. Among them was a priest named Jethro, also called Ruel. He was respected, wise, and deeply spiritual, but Jethro did not worship Yahweh. He served the gods of his people, idols, stars, ancestral spirits. Yet, he was a seeker of truth. Each morning, Jethro climbed the ridge behind his tents, lifting his hands to the sky not just in ritual, but in yearning. Who is the true God? What power governs this world? Is there one voice above the rest? He was a shepherd of souls long before he became a father-in-law. When Moses fled, far away, in Egypt, Moses had killed a man. He fled in fear, an outlaw, once a prince, now a fugitive. Exhausted, sunburned, and starving, Moses stumbled into Midian, collapsing by a well. And here Jethro's daughters came to water their sheep. When shepherds tried to drive them away, Moses defended them. The daughters ran home breathless. "Father, a stranger helped us." He fought off the men. Jethro, curious, said only, "Where is he? Why did you leave him? Bring him to eat." That one invitation changed everything. Jethro met the broken Egyptian fugitive, and saw something. Not just fear, but potential. He took Moses in not as a slave, not as a threat, but as family. He gave Moses his daughter Zipporah in marriage. And slowly, in Midian's peace, the wounds of Egypt began to heal. Years in the wilderness. For 40 years, Moses lived under Jethro's roof. Not as a warrior, not as a prince, but as a shepherd, learning patience, silence, and discipline. And in that time, Jethro observed him. He noticed how Moses never truly bowed to the gods of Midian. How he always seemed unsettled. One night, under the stars, Jethro asked, "Who is your God, Moses?" Moses paused. "I don't know anymore. But he is not here." And Jethro said, "Then perhaps you must go where he calls." The burning bush. One day, while tending Jethro's sheep, Moses climbed Mount Horeb. And there, he saw it. A bush, engulfed in fire but not burning. He drew close, and the voice of Yahweh thundered, "Take off your sandals. The place where you stand is holy." A command, a mission, a call to return to Egypt and free God's people. Moses resisted. "Who am I to go? What if they won't believe me?" But God gave signs, and Moses yielded. He returned to Jethro, trembling. "The God of my ancestors has sent me back. I must leave." Jethro said nothing for a long time. Then, in one of the most gracious acts in Scripture, he let him go. "Go in peace, my son. May your God be with you." Jethro, who had no reason to believe in Yahweh, still blessed the call. After the Exodus, years passed. The plagues, the Red Sea, freedom. Now Moses led millions of Israelites across the desert, overwhelmed and exhausted. And as they camped near Sinai, Jethro came, bringing Zipporah and Moses' sons. Imagine the reunion, the dusty prophet, and the wise old priest. Moses poured out the stories: Pharaoh's pride, God's wrath, the splitting sea. And Jethro was shaken. "Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all gods." In that moment, the Midianite priest became a believer. He offered burnt offerings to the Lord. He worshipped not out of tradition, but out of awe. The greatest advice ever given. The next day, Jethro watched Moses at work. From morning to night, Moses sat judging disputes, settling arguments, solving every problem alone. Jethro frowned. "What is this you're doing? Why do you sit alone?" Moses replied, "The people come to me. I must guide them. But Jethro shook his head. You will surely wear yourself out. This burden is too heavy. You cannot do it alone. Then, he offered timeless wisdom. Select capable, honest men. Appoint them as leaders of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Let them judge the simple cases, and bring the hard ones to you. This moment changed the structure of governance forever. It was the first delegation model recorded in history. And Moses listened. A prophet took advice from a priest of another tribe. That's wisdom. The final goodbye. After giving his counsel, Jethro quietly returned to Midian. He didn't stay, didn't demand honor, didn't seek a title. He had served his purpose. He had seen the hand of God. And he let go. The Bible never tells us when Jethro died. But in Jewish tradition, he is remembered as a righteous Gentile, a man whose heart was open, and whose wisdom helped shape a nation. In a Bible full of giants, Moses, David, Elijah, Jethro often stands in the shadows. Yet his influence is undeniable. He welcomed a fugitive, he released a son-in-law, he acknowledged God, and he gave counsel that outlived him by thousands of years. Sometimes, the quiet sages, the ones who never part seas or call down fire, change the world more than we realize. This is the story of Jethro, the forgotten shepherd, the wise priest, the man who helped make Moses, Moses.